Hi guys. Okay, welcome to my production studio. This is the shop or barn or warehouse. Okay, let's be real, it's like a warehouse that is on the new property that I just bought. So I'm coming to you from my warehouse, and it's not a set. Okay, it's not a set that I made. Like, this is not a fake business in the background that I set up for YouTube. It is just the way that my business is run, and I set up a camera, I set up a mic, and I am coming to you from my space. So welcome to the warehouse. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 questions that you can ask yourself if you just want that little boost to help you figure out, like, what am I going to do with my life? I mean, I think we're all ambitious and we're all creative and we've all accomplished great things. But there is also that moment where you just think to yourself, what am I doing? Like, what is the plan? What am I really doing here? And how am I going to make this make sense for me? How am I going to move through this uncertainty? And how am I going to just make sense of it? How am I going to pick something that actually suits who I am, not just now, but in the near future, and then ideally even the long term, right? Okay, so I was racking my brain. I took some notes for this video, and I was really thinking about what is the best way to figure this out. Like, if you're my bestie and we're sitting here and we're having lunch, okay, we're having salads with like grilled chicken and avocado, right? And we're talking about it. I think the best way to go through this is to ask yourself a series of questions, okay? Good questions lead to good answers. So I came up with 3 questions that you can ask yourself. And so whether you're listening to this in the car or on your morning walk, let this just be a little pep in your step. Let this just be a little bit of motivation in the background so that you can get centered again and feel like, you know what? Hell yeah, like, I can do this. I'm on the right track. I am moving forward. There is momentum. Okay, so if you're my bestie, here are the questions that I would ask you. The first question is going to be about environment, and specifically, what kind of environment do you thrive in? And by thrive, I don't mean like, oh, you're the most productive or you are the best worker. I mean one where you feel in your flow. So flow is that sense of you're losing sense of time, right? And that you just feel like comfy cozy with yourself, okay? And I want you to be very honest with yourself. Like, some of us are social butterflies and we need to be around other people, and we need that ping and that pong, and we need that validation, and we need that hit, and we need that socialization, okay? Others of us are like, just give me 4 walls. Just let me be at peace, make my art. I don't care about the noise. I don't care about anything else. Just like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. 8 hours of uninterrupted silence is like what you want. Okay? And think about maybe even going back to like an internship that you had in college, or like your last couple of jobs. Like, think about actually the environments where the end of the day you felt like, oh, that was nice. You weren't exhausted, you weren't burnt out, where your body was telling you, hey, this is like nice. We feel safe, we feel supported, we feel like our nervous system isn't on overdrive, okay? This is important because there is a difference between what you're good at and how your body actually feels in the moment. I'll give you an example. So when I was working in account management, I would have to be on these client calls all the time. And I had big clients. I mean, my clients were like Microsoft and Google, you know? And so I'd be on these client calls, and then I'd be on the calls, and then I would get off the call. Let's say it's like a 60-minute check-in or something. And I'd go like to the bathroom, I'd wash my hands, I'd look in the mirror, and I'd realize my entire face was flushed. And I was like, how come my face is so flushed after every single call? And I realized it's because I was literally holding my breath. I'd be leading a call, let's say it's on Zoom. I'm like leading a call. I'm like shallow breathing the entire time because I'm on edge. I'm nervous. Like my body is not regulating itself and it's not breathing properly. And so I end up with like a very light sheen of sweat on my face and like a flushed face every time. Sometimes I would get off these calls and my husband would literally be like, "Did you just go for a run?" I'm like, "No, I did not go for a run. I just got off a client call and I feel like I've been chased by a bear and I look like it. That's what my body thinks is happening." Okay. However, at the same time, if you asked my boss, "Is Mandy good at her job?" They'd be like, "Yeah, she's like great. She's so good at her job. She handles all the clients with such ease. The clients love her. Of course they love me." I was in a total terror and panic every time that I was like on a call with them. I'm sure they felt powerful or something because they could sense that I was just like on the verge of a meltdown at every moment, just like breathlessly trying to please them, right? So be conscious of that difference. Second question that I would ask you is I'd be like, what pain points do you care about? Like, what are the things in life that actually frustrate you and get you riled up, either because you just connect to that issue or it's something you have personally experienced? Like, what are the pain points that you care a lot about? Okay. Now, oftentimes when I used to do like one-on-one client work, I would sit with a client and it's too much to ask someone off the bat to be like, "So what do you want to do next?" It's such a loaded question and it will cause anxiety and panic in anyone. So instead, I would ask, what is like an issue that you care about? And suddenly having just that little bit of distance, they'd be like, "Oh, well, I guess I care about women's rights," or they'd be like, "I guess I care about the environment," or "I guess I care about, underrepresented minorities." Like, you have to think about what are the things that you actually give a shit about. Okay? I remember my first clue for this personally was in my late 20s, early 30s. I remember, I think a lot of women go through this. For me, it just hit a nerve because just as my career was taking off, I was also having kids. And so it really came to a head because for me, it wasn't one of these like, "Oh, I feel guilty leaving my kids and they're young." Like, I never really felt that per se, but it was more just that I understood the weight of what I was having to do. Like, I understood now that I was somebody's mom and I took that so seriously. And then at the same time, I understood the pull of chasing my creative dreams and how strong that was. And I could just see a collision course. I just knew. And I remember just I read The Feminine Mistake and The Feminine Mystique. And I think so I read The Feminine Mystique, and then I also read its more modern counterpart, The Feminine Mistake. And it just talked about they named it the problem that has no name, right? And it was essentially what I was facing, which is that the weight of the expectation of me stepping into this motherly, maternal figure, right? Being in direct opposition with my dreams as an individual and my self-actualization. And I had seen a lot of people lean into mother as identity. And I knew that was going to be one of the pieces, but I also knew that wasn't going to be complete. At least for me, it just wasn't going to be 100% of the picture. And I remember reading those books, putting those books down and just being like, fuck, yes, there has to be a different way. And what is it? And I kept going into different organizations in corporate America. I kept trying to work for this company, that company, this startup. Maybe I need to change my environment. Maybe I need to right? And I feel like I was always chasing the answer to that, always being well, this, and even like me going in to like start my own business and like start my own like coaching practice, I also felt like, okay, this is starting to tap into that solution, but it's not complete either. Like, I can't just throw myself into starting a risky business. Like, that's also not smart, right? But the themes started to emerge, the things that I started to care about: women, identity, relationship with work, stepping into power, getting back to our spiritual roots. Like, all of this was starting to take hold. And I noticed it because I cared, because I was like, this is a problem that I'm obviously experiencing, but it's not just about me. Like, I know that there are other people who are going through the same thing, maybe in different veins. Maybe some people are more leaned towards the motherhood aspect, and maybe some people are leaned more towards like the evil corporate America aspect, you know. But like, in any case, there is this sort of seeking for a spiritual identity outside of motherhood, outside of corporate America, just like having an identity for yourself. And what is your relationship to work, and what is your relationship to yourself? I knew that that was something that I was just like weirdly obsessed with. It's not like I would talk to my friends about it. It's not like I would sit around and hold webinars or anything. I just like would think about it in my own little brain. You know, I would just be like, I'd be taking a shower and I'd be like, that's annoying. You know, like I'd be like taking a walk and I'd be like, that's weird. Like, so you want to think about, what are the problems? What are the issues that keep you up at night, that you actually care about, that you think about, that has no reason to think about? Like, when I look back at that time when I was really just like ruminating, I would like go on these runs and I'd come back and I'd have all these ideas and I had like nowhere to say them or video them or anything. I just had them in my brain. Like, I remember being just, it was like endlessly fascinating to me, you know, not only because I was going through it, but because it just seemed like a problem that was so big, that had no solution, that had so many angles to it, so many perspectives. And I just was like weirdly obsessed. So my question for you would be like, what are the things that you are irrationally interested in, that you could kind of talk about for a long time, or you could think about, or, you know, I think the point is that we don't always have to have a solution. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, now I fixed it, it's neatly tied in a bow, because that's not life, right? But what is like a topic or a body of work that might engage you in the long term? I love how in these videos, like, the more I talk, the more animated I get, and then like my hair gets increasingly crazy, and like by the end of the video I'm like, okay, let's keep going. All right, the third question that I would ask you is like, how do you want to help people? I think that anytime you're figuring out like what your thing is, like, it's really about a problem solution, right? Like, there's a problem out there to be solved, and you are part of the conversation. You are offering a product or service, or being part of a company, or being part of a mission that like solves a problem, right? And so a question I would have for you is like, how do you want to help people? And this is similar to the environment one, where it's very much about like, this is a process-driven question, but I think there's a lot of insight into like, okay, let's say you wanted to become a therapist and you're like, I want to help people in a group coaching setting. I love managing dynamics. I love that the relationship itself can be sort of this like third entity. Like, I want to do group coaching. Or you might be like, no, I want to do more one-on-one. Like, I love the hands-on. I love like the private tutorship. I love having that deep relationship with a client, right? Or you might be working at a company and you might be like, this is like an analogy that I usually use when it comes to companies, but think about the company as like a restaurant. Do you want to be like front of house? Like, I want to be the hostess. I want to be greeting people. I want to be seating people. I want to be taking orders. I want to be like the face of the experience. Or do you want to be back of house? Are you like, I'm the cook and nobody's going to see me. I'm the line cook. I'm the sous chef. I'm preparing everything. Or are you like back of the house? Like, operations. I want to be ordering supplies. I want to be like reordering the ketchup. I want to be like talking to the vendors, like doing more of the B2B stuff. Like, think about how you want to interact with people. And it also comes down to, honestly, how introverted versus extroverted you are. Like, how much social contact do you need, and how much do you want to be by yourself versus with other people? Okay, so to recap, the 3 questions that you can ask yourself is, what kind of environment do I want to be in? What pain point do I want to solve? Like, what issue am I obsessed with? And third, how do I want to help people? Okay, so as a follow-up to this video, I'm also going to be posting a members only video, which goes into one additional question, a real deep dive into the 4th question. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up to be a member and then you can watch that video. And speaking of, I want to just do a plug for my members program. So my members program is through YouTube. So you can sign up right here on YouTube. There's basically 2 tiers. All of the members get access to members only content. We also have regular posts where I will do like check-in questions like, how's your week going? Post your goals for the week. And I'm really pouring a lot into this because I want to build a community. This started, just to give you guys like the history, this started basically as an experiment over the summer. And because someone at YouTube had reached out to me and was like, hey, we have this like membership program. Do you want to try it? And I was like, at first, honestly, I was like, hell no. I was like, that sounds like a lot of work. And then I was like, you know what though? I was like, well, okay, like I'll try it. Because the thing with me is like, I don't like to sign up for something unless I'm going to go all the way with it. So I framed it as like, we're going to try it as an experiment and see how it goes. Kind of giving myself an out. Like if I couldn't like continue on. But over the past few months, we've grown to, I think we're now at 78 members, which to me is like amazing. Like I think if we could be around 100, that's like good. That's like good for me, you know? And what I'm really realizing is that I myself too am really looking for just a smaller circle of people to be in community with and to see as peers, you know, to see as people who are also creating things, making things, working on things, trying to better ourselves and being kind of cheerleaders for each other and just having a little bit of a digital community. I'm doing it also just on YouTube because like I know there's the option to do like, oh, have your own like Discord channel or whatever, but I'm like, that seems like a lot of logistica. Like I just want to keep it simple. I want to have exclusive content and I want to have a lot more like check-ins and touch bases. And so that's the program. There are 2 tiers. One is like the supporter level and that's like $1.99. YouTube was like, you should have a supporter level just for entry, like people who just want to support you, but who may not have like the funds. They were like $1.99. It's like a very popular tier. So I was like, okay, I'll offer that. And then the second tier is the $5.99 per month tier. And the main difference with that is sometimes there is like extra special content, but mostly the main difference is that I send you, if you're in the United States, I send you a physical thank you gift. So let me show you some of the things that I'm sending out now. Okay, so every thank you gift comes with a handwritten note. So I send you a handwritten note because I'm a psycho. And then I also send you a notebook. These are all like made in Japan, like super cute quality. I'm a stationery girly, so I'm just gonna be sending people like the cutest stuff. So you get a notebook. I'll also send you stickers, and then I have some of these left. These are like these really cute. Look, it's like an axolotl. It's like an axolotl. Or it's like this little stuffy teddy. They're just like these keychains and they're so cute. I also have these little Sanrio pouches. It's just in the plastic because I want to like protect it for you guys. But these are so cute. I ordered all of this stuff from Japan for no reason. Like it's totally irrational. But I feel like that's part of what I'm trying to attract as well is like, let's do something weird together. Like there's no reason why I should be like mailing packages to people, like, you know, but I am encouraging us all to do things that don't make sense, right? Like business wise, that doesn't make sense, but emotionally, spiritually, I'm like, it does because I like sending cute stationery to people. People like receiving cute stationery as well. So okay, so that's my plug. Sign up if you want to watch the bonus video where there's one additional question that I'm going to share with you, and or if you just want to get cute stuff, that's fine too. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!